3, 2, 1. The Seahawks, they're bringing it home again for the second time. The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest, and the party begins at Levi Stadium and in Seattle, and it won't stop for days.
That's incredible seeing that Lombardi trophy in Sam Darnold's hand. Once again, congratulations, Seattle Seahawks. Manti, Seth, LeGarrette, Kyle, Jamie here with you on the Monday after the Super Bowl. In some capacity, all of us spent time last week in San Francisco. Excellent host city. It was smooth. Kyle, for one last time this season, I know I believe in you because, as Sam Darnold said, as long as you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Can you lift this long highlight for us one
I got it.
time?
Let's do it. Super Bowl highlights in the NFL Network. This is an honor. Here we go. We're going to Levi Stadium. Donald, know him, love him. 29-13, and I promise you it wasn't even close to that close. The Seahawks of 2025, they win the Super Bowl in 2026, and Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker III, MVP, 27 for 135. Afterwards, we heard from Sam Darnold, we heard from Kenneth Walker, and head coach Mike Macdonald. Seahawks!
The reason that I'm here is because of my journey, because of the ups and downs, especially the downs that I went through early on in my career. I learned so much about myself, about football. It's funny how things work, but that's life. You know, I'm just going to continue to keep working.
If I would tell myself as a kid right now, I would have, I wouldn't have guessed that I would be the one to win an MVP. So it's just a real moment, you know, and it doesn't happen without the guys in the locker room.
We're in the business of winning football games. And to win football games, you got to be a great team. And great teams have people from all over the place that come together. That's why football is so special. I mean, you look at that locker room and what people have gone through to get to this point in their career on this particular team. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's really, really powerful, really awesome.
Mike Macdonald pleading, begging his players to come up on the stage afterwards, waiting patiently before he hoisted the Lombardi. It was absolutely perfect and really representative of who he is as a coach. Another season in the books, and this time we see a lot of green and navy blue confetti. Seattle Seahawks, the Super Bowl 60 champions. My gosh, Manti Te'o, for one more time this season, dare I say. Manti, you want to talk about the defense?
It was deja vu, guys. It was deja vu. If you look at that picture of the confetti, I swear you could have thought it was the Eagles-Chiefs game last year. You talk about defensive dominance. In a time where there's just focus on a quarterback and finding a head coach that can help the quarterback or bring the most out of a quarterback, for 2 years in a row, we've learned, yes, if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. But if you have a defense, you can win Super Bowls. Defense wins championships. And I thought that what Mike Macdonald did last night with how he was curating some of his blitzes, bringing DBs, but then dropping D linemen, it put Drake May in this blender of, okay, I have a blitz here, but then I have a D tackle dropping out here, and everybody was like, oh, throw it to your hot route. There is no hot route. Why? Because you have a D lineman stick standing over there. And then there were times where they would go into man coverage, and then they would still bring blitzes from the right or the left. I thought what Mike Macdonald and that Seahawks defense did last night to Drake May and that entire offense, not just Drake May, it was phenomenal. They didn't know where the blitzes were coming from. More importantly, they didn't know where the droppers were coming from. And when you have Drake May in a situation where, okay, I see somebody coming here, but I don't know if I have my outlet here because I have a D lineman or a corner or a linebacker dropping. It puts him in a place that is very, very uncomfortable, and he looked uncomfortable majority of the game. So hats off to Mike Macdonald and that defense, what they did last night, Seth. Man, it was beautiful. It was poetry. It was art to me. And for 2 years in a row, we learned that defense will win you a championship.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a great game to watch, right, Kyle? You said it, but
It was hard to watch.
If you love defense, then the dark side defense, they got the job done. My wife turned to me. She's sitting there with me. We're watching the game live. She turns to me. She asked me, is this what it's going to be like all night long? I said, honey, yes. I said, this is...
Drake was saying the same thing.
That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a few yards and then, boom, punt. And that's what it was all night long.
Drake said that, and then Brandon goes, honey? Yeah, really? Yeah. Wish I had better news for you, kid.
Yeah, but it was this was the... I mean, unless unless they were playing Matt Stafford, like this was the Seahawks defense all season long. And when the lights were the brightest, they showed out from start to finish. It was only a matter of time. They were going to get to him. Drake May there, they get to him, turn the ball over. You got fumbles, you got sacks. I mean, it was I thought, a thing of beauty. It was a beautiful thing to watch. And on the other side of the ball, you know, Kenneth Walker III, because Sam Darnold was not great in this game. You know, the Patriots defense, we'll get to that later. Sam Darnold was not great in this game. I think he would acknowledge that.
I hear you.
He was not great. Kenneth Walker really got this offense moving. He was catching balls, but he was running outside the tackles a lot, and that's where a lot of his big gains were coming. But he was hustling, man. They were giving him the ball. He was doing, it wasn't just those big, sexy runs where he was getting these big 20-plus yards. He was grinding, and he was keeping the ball moving forward, and he was allowing Sam Darnold to make the throws when he had to. So kudos to Kenneth Walker and Myers. He was kicking field goals.
All night long.
I thought we were going to get a kicker
all night long,
too. I was like, if one of those might have been like 50-plus, he would have been in the conversation. But they were all just, you know.
Tell you what, Seth, we could have had a punter MVP, too. Like, they would put on a clinic. I mean, the John Schneider special teams unit they brought in is worth every single penny. LeGarrette Blount, you've been in Super Bowls. You're a Super Bowl champ. What do you think of last night?
Man, it was tough to watch. You know, obviously being a former Patriot, it was tough to watch. But, I mean, they have a young team. They got a lot to work on. I mean, Mike McDaniel came out with a great game plan. He got those guys ready to go. It looks like his game plan from the beginning was to put pressure on Drake May. I mean, his record against these quarterbacks under 24 years old is 0-7. I think we talked about that a little bit. The quarterbacks are 0-6 against him, 24 and younger. Now 0-7. So he's doing a great job, man. That defense out there, man. If that isn't the second coming of the Legion of Boom, I don't know who it is. These guys are really, really good, all the way from the front end to the back end. You got the backs, you got the backs to do it. Obviously, Charbonnet got hurt, but you got Kenneth Walker that was in there. I seen a video clip of him saying, "Hey, bro, we got you. We got you. I'm out here. I'm doing this for you." So you can tell he was out there running with a chip on his shoulder. I mean, three plays of 20-plus yards. I mean, you don't get that against this Patriot defense. They're really, really good. It was tough. It was tough to watch on that end. But I mean, shoot, there was no answers. You know, you got two rookie, a left guard and a left tackle that are rookies that were having an extremely hard time. And this wasn't the first time they had a hard time. They've been having a hard time all year. And it's hard to keep up with those guys, man. You got big dog pass rushers, you know what I'm saying? You got guys that out there that's going to be able to make plays. You got DBs like Seth was saying, and like Manti was saying, you got DBs that were able to get to the backfield and, get to the quarterback and make plays and get sacks that caused interceptions. And man, it was crazy. It was a great game to watch, but it was tough for me.
Yeah, I think
Congrats, Seattle. Congrats.
Hard, man. I get it.
And you're trying to satisfy yourself with Walker because even though you didn't want it, but he's, that's a year kind of running game. I think we're all saying the same thing. It's hard to watch. But the reason it was hard to watch because of the Seahawks defense. Like, that is great. That is a huge compliment. We're not saying we didn't want to watch them. We're saying it was a unpretty meat grinder of a product because of how good they were. But, like, there's credit everywhere. The Seahawks just became the first team in NFL history to go the entire postseason with no turnovers and win the Super Bowl. Not a single one. That's really impressive. And I think it's interesting what you say yesterday and today about about Sam Darnold, Seth.
Yeah.
Is that I don't know what to say about him this morning. Like, it was supposed to be this either Sam Darnold was going to give us an A or an F. And he just kind of gave us like a B- and it was totally fine. I even felt him after the game, he was a little unfulfilled. Like, his interviews were like, I wish we could have done a little better on offense, but we're Super Bowl champs. That really was what the game was like. Like, there was no Sam Darnold threw 4 touchdowns or Sam Darnold had 3 turnovers. He kind of just ran the ball, he over, and he threw it when he needed to. We didn't get this really satisfying conclusion to the Sam Darnold saga. There was no ghost talk. There was no huge mountain climbing vindication. It was just he managed the ship like he was totally supposed to, and he just let those wrecking balls destroy. The biggest compliment I can give to the Seahawks is that in the middle of the game, and a lot of people were remembering the Ray Lewis defense against the Giants because that was a game that just felt like adults versus teenagers, where it's like, I think we got to get the teenagers off the field. They're not really ready. The Patriots, listen, we'll talk about them. Josh McDaniels, I guess, had nothing. Mike Vrabel, they had nothing. I don't want to disparage those guys. I'm saying competitively, there was nothing. They were never in the game. The offense never had a chance. Mike McDonald was amazing. That whole defensive staff was amazing. So we're going to talk about the Patriots in a game this quote-unquote unwatchable. a lot of times if it bleeds, it leads, and I'm sure a lot of people around the world are talking about the Patriots blowing it or whatever you want to call it. The Seahawks made that game hard to watch because they were that good, and Sam Darnold was that smooth. Not a single turnover the whole playoffs. It's pretty cool.
I think that's the main thing, KB, when you talk about Sam Darnold, was his ability to protect the football. Also, Sam Darnold did make some, maneuvers in there in the pocket because the Patriots were getting to him a little bit. But his ability to step up, extend the plays, and get the ball down the field, I thought that was amazing. And we talked about it last week. There was a certain stat line that Sam Darnold had that the Seahawks would win the game. The fact that he had one touchdown is no secret why they blew out the Patriots, because of that defense and his ability to protect the ball. Jamie saw, I thought it was phenomenal.
As Kyle said, it was a beautiful California day for the Bay Area to host San Francisco, to host Super Bowl 60. And one of the moments in the commercial break that we all got to witness firsthand was all the Hall of Famers. And it felt very, very fitting that Adam Vinatieri was out there as a class of 2026 Hall of Famer on a day where, Seth, you said it, Jason Myers makes from 26, 33, 39, 2 for 41, 5 field goals, 2 extra points. And then you got a punter, the Australian-born Michael Dixon, dropping 3 punts inside the 6 for a team where John Schneider spent invested the most in his special teams in the NFL. They led the league in spending and special teams. And the kicker is, I saw perhaps the first family of football, or one of the members of, before the game. Saw Jim Harbaugh walking around. I'm like, wow, you don't see Jim and his whole family until it dawned on me, his son's coaching in the Super Bowl. Jay Harbaugh, special teams coordinator. You think of the staff that Mike McDonald put together. You got Clint Kubiak, who's going to go on and take another job, and Jay Harbaugh, who followed Mike McDonald from their time together at Michigan to become that special teams coordinator. Congratulations to the Harbaugh family, for example, to say that they got themselves quite the special teams unit. And I don't think I would have had an issue if I saw a kicker as MVP. Kyle, it makes it all the more interesting.
It would have been really funny.
It would be really fun.
Listen, they had to have their arms twisted to give it to a running back. It always goes to the winning quarterback.
Yeah.
And I bet there were votes for Darnold, but I love that Walker got it. And the last thing I'll say is, we always look at these Super Bowls and, like, how will we remember this one? Like, I remember the 28-3, some of the poor games. Like, I'll just remember this game, I think, 20 and 30 years from now, is that time the Seattle defense just teed off for 4 straight quarters. Like, it was, again, not pretty, but that, I think, is the legacy of this game. That's it.
Honestly, it felt like at sometimes they were, like, playing with their meat. Like, they were just like,
don't play with your food.
Yeah, don't play with your food.
But they did. It was, and it was unpleasant to watch at time, but awesome for them. And now they get to bring a Lombardi back to Seattle and have a parade and an ultimate celebration. It's awesome. We're going to have a pass at the Patriots in the next block because we have to discuss what happened to them yesterday. And LeGarrette Blount, you might have to go first to that conversation. Congratulations to the 12th second Super Bowl trophy in organization history. We're going to hear more from